It's beer o'clock on Reload Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from 8 Wired Brewing Company, and it's a bottle of their Big Smoke Smoked Porter coming in at 6.2% ABV. There's a look at the label. We've got a 330 bottle. Here's the bottle cap. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass then. We got a 2-finger tan coloured head, jet black beer in the glass, good levels of carbonation. A nice look to the beer. Look at the carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. At this stage of the beer review, I'd like to thank beersreviewed.co.uk for sending us the beer. They've been our channel sponsors for 5 or 6 years. They've been a tremendous support to the channel. Check out, if you really like beer, if you're living in the UK, have a look in the description box of the video, beersreviewed.co.uk, go and check them out. Go grab a beer off them. For a porter, that's perfect. There's a little bit of light bleeding through at the bottom of the glass. Can you see that little bit of a red hue there on the bottom of the glass? It shows you it's not quite jet black. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, definitely a smoked porter. It's the smoked... It's got the aroma of almost like a orange beer. A German style orange beer. That smoky, peaty, green wood, fresh. That fresh green wood that they use to smoke the beer. The chips, the green chips that they use to smoke the beer. I got a very, very strong idea that they've used that to brew this beer. Other than that, you get some roastedness coming through. Chocolate, coffee, caramel aromas. And it's a little bit vinous on the back end also. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, campfire, definite campfire smokiness. I'm pretty sure none of you out there have put your face in a campfire, a smouldering campfire. That would just be horrendous, wouldn't it? But do you know when you smell your, this is it, I got it, when you smell your clothes after you've been out, maybe in the UK, you're probably watching this video from New Zealand because it's a New Zealand craft beer. In the UK, we have something called Bonfire Night on November the 5th. It's Guy Fawkes Night, where we burn stuff. We burn all of our, it's an excuse to burn all of our rubbish. It used to be a historical thing. Somebody tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Guy Fawkes tried to blow up the House of Parliament on November the 5th. Many, many moons ago, I can't remember the year. The government caught him, the government stopped him, and ever since then we've celebrated not having our parliament blown up by burning stuff on that very day, on November the 5th. So when we burn stuff, when we wake up in the morning after we've burned stuff and drunk loads, we wake up and we put out, you know, if you want to nip down the shop to get some milk and you're like, oh, I'm going to just put this shirt on I had last night just to get the milk and then I'm going to take it back off again. You'll smell your shirt and it's that, that's the aroma of this, and taste. Aroma and taste of this beer is of smelly, smoky shirts or t-shirts or jumpers or coats or whatever. But it's quite drinkable for a porter. Nicely carbonated. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it. It's very drinkable. As just mentioned, the mouthfeel is very good. There's the chocolate, the coffee, the caramel. It's a little bit vinous on the back end. Mixing all that smokiness together is terrific. Do you want to know, very quickly, what the word or where the word porter come from. I'll be quick. If you're bored, tune away. Fast forward the video, come back for the rating. But do you understand? Do you want me to tell you where the word porter come from? So back in the day, central London. A bit of a history lesson today, isn't it? Back in the day in London, we used to have, because London was a very tight city, office to office, factory to factory. It was all done very close together because we didn't have massive transportation as we do today. So to move stuff about, we had what was called the porter. And it was a man with a little man truck thing. It wasn't a horse and cart, it was a man and a cart. And the man had a little cart, and people used to put small, maybe letters or something, a bag of grain, something like that. And because London's flat, he used to run around delivering stuff. He was called a porter. A bit like you get in hotels today, a hotel porter, yeah? Still use the name today. So, to stop the porters keeling over and dying after a hard day's work, we produced a beer called a porter. So this porter was used for nourishment. This was your energy drink of the day. This was full of vitamins, wholemeal grain. It was healthy. It would give you loads of slow burning energy. I'm quite proud of myself here. I'm on one. And yeah, it was generally one of these beers that just kept you going throughout the day. Probably wasn't 6.2% ABV. Probably was more like 4%, something like that. But it was just generally the energy drink of the day for the London porter man. There you go. Rating for this wonderful smoked porter. Before we do, let's have a quick read of the description. We've taken our best porter recipe and added a good measure of Manuka and Beechwood smoked malts. Maybe was I right with the orange beer? Was I far wrong? The smoke mingles beautifully with the rich, dark, roasted chocolate flavours of the porter without being overpowering. Yeah, this is a classic porter. Smoked porter. Terrific stuff. Let's rate it. I'm going to rate this beer. It's got great lacing, it looks good, it smells good, tastes good, great aroma, brilliant beer. Yeah, it's another Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom and cheers.